Alright, good morning, Alyssa. We are going to start today and we're going to be doing an assessment. I'm just going to see how you do on things, and so don't be nervous, it'll be okay. We're not going to use this right now though, so that was a mistake, I'm really sorry. Okay, so first I'm going to say a word and I want you to tell me one word that means the opposite. For example, if I say day, you would say
Night.
That is correct, because night is the opposite of day. Let's try another one. And you tell me the opposite of the word. What is the opposite of up?
Down.
Very good. Alright, listen carefully to what I say and tell me one word that is the opposite of the word I say. If you cannot think of a word that is the opposite, just say, I don't know. What is the opposite of front?
Back.
Wet.
Dry.
What is the opposite of true?
False.
What is the opposite of above?
Below.
What is the opposite of smooth?
Rough.
What is the opposite of go?
Stop.
What is the opposite of vertical?
Horizontal.
What is the opposite of war?
Peace.
What is the opposite of death?
Life.
What is the opposite of succeed?
No.
Okay. What is the opposite of polite?
Unpolite. Disrespectful.
What is the opposite of guilty?
Not guilty.
What is the opposite of reject?
Accept.
What is the opposite of insult?
I don't know.
What is the opposite of major?
Minor.
What is the opposite of misplace?
I don't know.
What is the opposite of expand?
I don't know.
What is the opposite of optimistic?
I don't know.
Alright. We are going to go on to the next thing. Alright, listen carefully to my directions. I'm going to say a word and then say two sentences. The second sentence will have a word missing at the end of the sentence. I want you to use the word that I gave you, but change it so it's said correctly at the end of the second sentence. Let's try an example. Broke. The glass fell and shattered into many pieces. It is now
Broken.
Alright, let's try another. Laugh. The play was very funny. The people broke out.
In laughter.
The correct answer would be like laughing, because you're supposed to use one word, okay?
Okay.
But very good. Listen carefully to the word and the two sentences and tell me how the word should be used correctly at the end of the second sentence. If you cannot think of how the word should be used, just say, I don't know. If you want me to repeat the word and sentences, just ask me. Million. The man made lots of money. He became a
Millionaire.
explode. We knew that it would be a terrible noise. From a mile away we heard the
Explosion.
brave. I would be afraid, hold on one second. I would be afraid to climb that cliff. So I was impressed with your
Bravery.
prove. The girl knew her friend was lying. However, she had no
Proof.
agree. Each of them wanted a different kind of car. This was their first big muscle. Eric works out in order to have a stronger body. His build will become more
Muscular.
expose. The winter was very cold. Many animals died of
I don't know.
okay. Glory. The concert was spectacular. In fact, it was
I don't know.
okay. Spectacle. The fireworks were amazing. They were quite
Spectacular.
occupy. Some people are now living in that building. Who are its
I don't know.
triumph? We were thrilled when we learned that our boys had won. The team would return
I don't know.
fever. Jennifer's temperature was high. In spite of the medicine, she still felt
I don't know.
The next section will be, alright, I'm going to ask you to finish a sentence that has a word missing at the end of the sentence. Listen carefully. Birds are to sing as dogs are to
Bark.
Oh, very good. You should have said bark. That's correct. Let's try another. Day is to night as cold is to
Hot.
Very good. Listen carefully to the sentences I say and give me a word that ends each sentence correctly. If you cannot think of a word, just say, I don't know. Day is to week as month is to
Year.
Mountain is to high as valley is to
Low.
Vegetarian is to vegetable as carnivore is to
Meat.
Eye is to head as toe is to
Foot.
Swim is to swimming as hike is to
Hiking.
Clock is to time as thermometer is to
Temperature.
Dog is to mammal as snake is to
I don't know.
Fish is to scale as bird is to
Feather.
United States is to North America as France is to
Europe.
Girl is to feminine as boy is to
Masculine.
Book is to librarian as flower is to
Floors.
Doctor is to patient as lawyer is to
I don't know.
Plumber is to pipe as electrician is to
Wires.
Inch is to foot as centimeter is to
I don't know.
February is to April as June is to
I don't know.
Rain is to drop as snow is to
I don't know.
Okay. Alright, this next part you're actually going to get a booklet. So if
Okay.
you will write your name and today's date on the lines at the top of the form. I would like you to look at the first page. Read example item A. The example word is look. Okay, right there. And the word written next to it is see. See means the same thing as look. Now read example item B. The example word is hog. The word written next to it is pig. Pig means the same thing as hog. Below is a list of printed words beginning with item 1, right here. Read each word and write one word next to it that means the same or almost the same thing. Do as many words as you can. Remember to only write one word that means the same or almost the same thing as the printed word. If you cannot think of a word that means the same thing, just write DK or don't know. And go on to the next item. Are you ready?
Yes.
You may begin. Okay, and you can stop now.
All right.
Very good. And the next time we're going to go to this page over here. Alright, you're going to look at the example item first. It has two sentences. We ate lunch. It was an hour ago. The two sentences can be written into one sentence. The best way to combine these sentences would be to write, we ate lunch an hour ago. I want you to read the following groups of sentences and combine them into one sentence. Some of these items are easy and some are hard. Some items have two sentences, but others have three or more sentences that need to be combined. Remember, combine the sentences to make one and only one sentence. Work as quickly as you can. Begin with item 1. I want you to, some of these items are easy and some of them are hard. Some items have two sentences, but others have three or more sentences that need to be combined. Remember, combine the sentences to make one and only one sentence. Work as quickly as you can. Begin with item 1. I want you to try each item. If you cannot do an item, you should write DK for don't know. and go on to the next item. You may use scratch paper in developing the sentences, but write only your final sentence on the lines for each item. Ready?
Yes.
Begin. All right, we are actually going to go to the next section. That's going to start right here. All right, I want you to correct some sentences that have capitalization, punctuation, and spelling errors.
Okay.
Look at the example item. The example sentence has a capitalization, a spelling, and a punctuation error. The second sentence shows how to correct the errors.
Okay.
You will notice that a capital I is put above the small I. Also notice that a line is drawn across the misspelled word and the correct spelling for home is written above the misspelled word. A period has also been placed at the end of the sentence. Now begin with item 1 and correct each sentence for capitalization, spelling, and punctuation errors. Some sentences have many mistakes. Write your corrections above each sentence. Be sure to mark each sentence carefully. Ready? Begin. Alright, and you can go ahead and stop now. Alrighty. That's the end of that.
Right now, Kelsey is filling out section 5, which is the administration conditions. She has to mark how many sessions it took for the person she was testing to take the test of adolescent language. She has to mark if it was given individually or in a group, and also the environmental conditions as well as the characteristics of the person she was examining. So she is going to do that. There's also section 6 is on the bottom of this page, which is the interpretations and recommendations. She won't fill that out right now, but she could fill that out after scoring the assessment. So she flips it over to the front, and she opens up the book to count the raw score for the examinee's test. Kelsey has now added up all of the raw scores. She goes back through and looks and adds them to the appropriate place in section 2 of the TOAL examiner record booklet. The subtests she gave were word opposites, word derivations, spoken analogies, word similarities, sentence combining, and orthographic usage. After she writes all of the raw scores, she is going to go into her examiner book and find the percentile rank and scaled scores. She goes to...
That's converting sum of scaled scores. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yes, we need. She goes to Appendix A, which is the normative tables for subtests, and she has to find the appropriate age. Her subject was 21 years, 2 months, and 7 days, so she goes to the table for ages 21 through 24 years and 11 months.
Raw score is 12.
She looks in the table and finds the raw score, and she can find the percentile rank on the left and the scaled score on the right. You can see she is using a piece of paper to help her do this faster so that she does not lose her place. Next, she is going to take the scaled scores and put them in the appropriate place in section 3, which is going to be the composite performance. Then what she will do is she will add them across and put them into the sum of scaled scores, which in a moment she will be able to convert into a percentile rank for the composite areas of spoken language, written language, and general language. Next, she is going to take the sum of scale scores that she just found and convert that into percentile ranks and indexes using Appendix B in her booklet. So she finds the sum of scaled scores and looks in her booklet, and as before, the percentile ranks on the left, and this time the index is what is on the right. And over here she looks and sees that the difference between spoken and written language is a score of 11, which makes it statistical but not necessarily clinical. On page 16 of her examiner booklet, Kelsey found the subtest scaled score descriptive ratings. So she looks in the chart and writes down the descriptive rating that correlates with that particular subtest scaled score, and then also the composite index scaled score. And that is how you administer and interpret the TOAL4.